Did you know that there's an 18-year-old girl who became famous all over the world because of the last words she said? Her story is so inspirational that even adults can learn something from her. So let's dive right in. Aisha Chaudhary was born in Delhi, India. At first, it seemed like just another ordinary birth, but after a few days, doctors noticed something strange. Aisha's body wasn't reacting to antibiotics like it should. This was a sign of a rare disease called severe combined immunodeficiency. It's basically when your immune system doesn't work properly. Normally, if you get sick, your white blood cells will fight off the bad stuff, but not in Aisha's case. So even a tiny cold could be life-threatening for her. That's why she had to stay inside almost all the time. If she went outside, she couldn't just walk around. She needed to use a breathing mask and a sterile air tank because even fresh air could make her lungs very sick. And it wasn't just the germs outside. Aisha's own skin could react badly to things like sunlight, plants, and even water. That's because she also had a lung disease called pulmonary fibrosis. Basically, it made her lungs feel really stiff and sore. But despite all these challenges, Aisha managed to live till 18 years old. And during this time, she learned something very important. Even though she had to spend most of her time alone in her room, she didn't feel lonely. You might think that's because she had no friends or family to spend time with. But that's not what I'm talking about. Aisha realized that she actually had plenty of friends. All she had to do was look around her room. Let me explain. In one corner, there were thousands of cards and letters from people all over the country. They wanted to meet her, talk to her, and tell her how much they liked her videos. You see, Aisha wasn't just any teenager. She became well known all across India because of the incredible things she said. Despite being stuck indoors all the time, she used her phone and the internet to connect with lots of people. She talked to them about how to be brave, how to keep going when things are hard, and how to never give up on your dreams. She gave speeches at important events like INK and TEDx, and these videos got millions of views. People loved her talks because they were so real and honest. Aisha didn't try to pretend that everything was okay or that she wasn't scared sometimes. She talked about how she felt and taught everyone valuable lessons through her personal experiences. After watching her videos, many people felt better about their own problems. They realized that even though Aisha's situation was very tough, she still found ways to make the best out of it. Now you might be wondering why this story matters to you. You probably don't know anyone with these diseases, right? Well, Aisha's story teaches us that no matter what happens in life, we should always try our best and never give up. These are lessons that everyone needs to hear, not just kids. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the tough things Aisha faced and how she dealt with them. Number 1, Aisha was often frustrated. Aisha struggled with feelings of frustration. She admitted that sometimes it was extremely difficult for her to accept her condition. After hearing her diagnosis, she felt sad and angry and kept asking God why she had to go through this. And it wasn't just the pain in her lungs that bothered her. She couldn't do things that other kids did, like playing and having fun. She had to spend most of her time alone in her room, which made her feel left out and bored. When she looked outside, she saw children enjoying their lives, going to school and spending time with friends. All those things seemed unfair to her. Despite her young age, she realized that she was different from others. This made her want to understand her illness more. And even though it was painful to accept the truth, she knew that knowledge was power. With knowledge, she could turn her negative feelings into positive ones. Instead of feeling sorry for herself, she started focusing on her strengths and finding ways to make the best out of her situation. That's when her journey towards becoming a motivational speaker began. Number 2, Aisha had a hard time making friends. One of the toughest things Aisha had to deal with was the fact that she couldn't have friends over or visit them. Even if someone came to their house, she wouldn't be able to talk to them face to face. So it's understandable that she felt lonely at times. You know, human beings are social creatures. We need friends to laugh with, to share secrets with, and to help us when we're feeling down. But Aisha couldn't experience that. Her room became her whole world. So how did she manage? Well, as I already told you, she turned to the internet and social media. There she found like-minded people and built connections with them. Through video calls, messages, and online chats, Aisha made friends who understood her and shared similar interests. For example, there was this one time when Aisha was feeling sad about not being able to celebrate her 16th birthday with her friends. She posted about it online, and guess what happened? Hundreds of people wished her happy birthday. Some sent gifts, and many even made handmade cards. It was like a huge surprise party. This shows that even though Aisha couldn't meet her friends in person, she still had people who cared about her. Number 3. Aisha often had to deal with other people's reactions. Aisha knew that her illness made her look different. Sometimes her face would get red and she'd need to use oxygen. And let's be honest, people can be mean and ignorant sometimes. They don't understand things they're not familiar with and tend to judge based on what they see. So when Aisha went out in public with her oxygen tank, some people stared at her and whispered bad things. This made her feel self-conscious and insecure. You see, when you have a rare illness, people might not understand what you're going through. They might think you're making it up or that you're weak. That's why it's important to educate yourself. Try to learn about others' experiences before judging them. Remember, words can be powerful, so choose them wisely. It's not okay to say hurtful things to people because they can remember those words for a long time. Number 4. Aisha couldn't do the things she loved. Being stuck inside meant that Aisha couldn't do things she liked, such as going to the park or riding a bike. She also couldn't eat certain foods that would make her sick. But instead of complaining about what she couldn't do, she tried to find alternatives. For instance, she enjoyed watching movies, reading books, and connecting with people online. By focusing on the positives, she didn't dwell on the negatives. Aisha knew that complaining wouldn't change her situation, so she preferred to explore the possibilities. Plus, by focusing on the good things, she remained optimistic. No doubt Aisha's story is remarkable. She lived a full life despite the difficulties she faced. When she was only 17, she decided to share her life story with the world, and as a result, she was invited to speak at various events. During one of these events, she met the director of a movie production company. Impressed by Aisha's story, the director decided to make a movie based on her life. Just a few months later, the film called The Sky is Pink was released. Priyanka Chopra and Farhan Akhtar played Aisha's parents in the movie. And guess what? The film was a huge success. It became one of the most watched Bollywood movies of the year. But unfortunately, Aisha didn't get to see it because she passed away in February 2019 at the young age of 18. Her last words were, "I'm going to be fine, don't worry." How incredibly brave is that? Even though Aisha was leaving this world, she was still thinking of others. That's the kind of person she was. So remember, no matter what happens in life, you must keep moving forward. Face your problems bravely. Find the good in every situation and never give up on your dreams. You only get one chance to live your life, so make the most of it and always follow your heart. Aisha's story reminds us that even in the toughest situations, we should always try our best. Remember, you're not alone. There are people who love you and want to help. Just reach out to them and don't be afraid to ask for assistance. Keep learning new things and focus on your strengths. The more you know, the more confident you'll become. Lastly, cherish every moment. Life is unpredictable, so make the most of it. Be kind to others and spread happiness wherever you can.